So my B8A4 is a relatively fast car. Last year it made 427 horsepower to the wheels and 407 torque to the wheels on a Mustang dyno on a 90-degree day. So at the very least, it's a really fun car to drive. And although that episode was sort of the conclusion to where I finished the power side of things, I still would like it to be faster. But unfortunately, I've sort of maxed out the turbo and the fuel system in this car. So how do you make a car faster without adding more power? The answer is grip. First off, let me just say I think this car is fantastic. I've truly enjoyed driving it for the last year and a half or so. And part of the reason I haven't uploaded too many videos of it is, well, I don't really want to make too many changes to it. I know that's something that's sometimes hard for YouTube audiences to understand. I'm happy with the car. And you don't always have to be modifying a car to be content with it. But although I'm happy with the car, that's not necessarily what matters for YouTube. People always want to see more. They want to see more power. They want to see more engines blowing up. They want to see more money being spent. And this video was originally supposed to be fueling related to make more power, but that did not go how it was supposed to. So more on that later. So instead, I decided to try to make the car faster around a road course. And more importantly, more fun to drive. And who better to help me achieve that goal than 034 Motorsport?
This is 034's solid rear sway bar for the B8 Audi platform. Now, I just did a video of this with my B6, but the same concept applies. It tightens up the rear suspension, promoting less understeer in the front, resulting in much better cornering. I've also paired this with their adjustable sway bar end links because if you're going to the extent of upgrading the stock sway bar, you might as well upgrade those too. For this install, I'm simply following the instructions they provide on their website. However, if something like a sway bar install feels a little too advanced for you, your best bet is to find someone more experienced to install it instead.
This is the old sway bar. It's tiny and feels flexible. Think hollow. That is quite a difference in size and heft. This thing is definitely solid. Let's see that on camera. Yeah, quite a difference. Let's give it a try.
When installing a new sway bar, especially with poly bushings, it's important to add some lube to the inside and outside of the bushings instead of going in dry. This prevents squeaking and prolongs the life of the bushings. The end links come disassembled, so before installing them, I need to add some anti-seize and tighten them together. This is very similar to the rest of 034's adjustable hardware lineup.
One thing that is important to note is with these adjustable end links, they come with this spacer right here. It's basically just a thick washer. Depending on how you want to set it up, this changes. So if you set up your sway bar to be stiff, you'd put the spacer here. If you want it soft, you use it as a big washer. But because I'm autocrossing in a few days and I like things stiff, I'm gonna put it in the stiff setting. So there you go.
And before tightening everything down, it's always a good idea to preload the suspension and then torque everything to spec.
So another thing that I should be doing to improve the handling is my steering shaft. They'll get a little bit of corrosion in the U-joint here, maybe it's this side, not sure which side, but they'll get a little bit of corrosion, and then it'll kind of bind up when you're trying to turn the steering wheel. And in my case, it gets really inconsistently, like it'll be fine and it'll be really stiff right here, and then it'll loosen up, and then like after I do that, then it'll be stiff here, and then so I'm going to change this out. It seems like it's a pretty straightforward process. It really should drive quite nicely. So let's do it. So I'm pretty positive this is the problem, and this will in fact improve the steering a lot. This goes this way okay, but will not budge this way. This one, on the other hand, moves freely. So I think it's safe to say that this was toast, and this one's better. And all this should really help improve the handling of the car, but still probably one of the best upgrades you can do to improve the handling in a car is better tires. For that, I headed to Track Day Direct in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They're sort of our regional tire wholesalers for drifting and other motorsport, and they are also the ones who put on Brew City Banger, one of my favorite events. And they're also giving away a drift car that you can win. Visit brewcitybanger.com. They were able to get my tires in my specific model and size ordered and mounted within 4 days, which is pretty great. What do you think, Jackson? And for the tires, I went with the ever popular Michelin Pilot Super Sport. I've heard nothing but good things about these tires, and I've wanted to get a set myself for a long time, so now's the time. I got these a little bit wider than my tires before, my junky Achilles that I had before. Which are basically only good for being cheap. I had those in a 255/30/20, and I got these in a 265/30/20 to get just a little bit more track width, a little bit more tire on the ground. There's less stretch, just a little more meat. I did have to actually change my driving height and my air out height because it was just sitting on the edge of the tire, and I had to mess with my alignment. So sacrifices I'm willing to make for incredible grip. But I'm gonna put this back on the car now, take you with me, give you my review of all these new handling upgrades. It's a good day. It is amazing how much more enjoyable it is to drive with a working steering column. It's like, this is what it was supposed to be like? I forgot how nice this car can drive. I'm sure there's plenty of B8 owners out there watching this right now. If your steering has that problem, get yourself a new, I guess it's an intermediate shaft. It makes a world of difference. These tires are also quite quiet. And I have driven on these tires already, and I can tell you it is grip city compared to anything I've had before. It's actually to the point where, like, the car makes new noises. The tires are quieter, but they kick up so much more rocks than I'm used to, so like I can hear more of that. More grip has trade-offs like that, but it's totally worth it. So unfortunately, I don't really have any roads close to my house to really feel the improved handling from the sway bar, but if it's anything like my B6, I already know that it's going to be a drastic improvement because that car went from too much understeer to almost too much oversteer. So this car already, I would say, handles better than the B6 out of the box. So adding even better handling is going to really improve it. So now actually having proper grip and the correct handling modifications, I should be able to really put down some good times in Autocross. So why don't we just move to that test?
Let's get it poppin', I'm looking away. Go tell mother I'm cooking the game. Flow like water bubbling up when you want me to make. Taking you back in the day, feeling immaculate, mate. Action packed back to back while you yapping away. I got a knack to react, but I'm packing a grace. Up to the max with a fact, let me grab the space. I had to map the place, who got a laughing face? Long, strong, looking like a stack full of hate.
And here we are, we're at Madison International Speedway today for a nice little autocross session. This wasn't actually the plan for today. I was expecting to bring my B6A4, but that car has a tendency to not run when I need it to. I'm having a braking issue on that car, but honestly, what could be a better way to test out all this suspension than at an autocross? You can't get conditions like this just driving around the road, at least safely.
Flow's incredible, look at them anxious. You can't go against the grain like you're not the major. Gotta see it to believe it, come do me a favor. Look at the paper, peep in the cave. Life here, then it's gone, you ain't know it's a favor. Gotta travel.
I'm so used to the limitations of the old tires and suspension that it's taking me a few runs to really figure out how far I can push this car in the corners. And even then, I know that there's more in it. Compared to the last time I competed with this car, everything has improved substantially. I also gotta just quick mention, the new brakes that I put on this thing are insane.
That first hairpin you came into, I'm like, oh, we're still accelerating, okay.
Big brakes, brother! This car has such better handling now. It's incredible. This thing went anywhere I wanted it to go. Why did I ever have cheap tires on this thing?
And now that I've gotten more used to the car and the course, I'm able to consistently improve my times little by little with each run.
55326. 51. Hell yeah, 51621.
Dang.
50.965. Yes! 49.913. Assuming I didn't hit a cone, I hit my goal. Woo! Oh, I have so much adrenaline right now. Oh, yeah. 49. And the verdict is, these are really, really successful modifications. If you're trying to get the most out of your car handling wise, tires and a rear sway bar is gonna do quite a bit for you. This car is already a blast to drive, and I did not think it could get that much better, but I was able to push this way more than I ever have before. So honestly, if you've got a B8, or honestly, if you have any car, put a rear sway bar on it. Put a thick rear sway bar on it and take it to autocross. It makes handling so much better, and it makes the car just a blast to drive. And it has honestly made me reconsider which car is going to be my autocross car from now on, because this is way more fun than my B6. But yeah, I'm sunburned as shit and very tired, so I'm gonna wrap it here. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you're wondering if you should or shouldn't buy a 034 rear sway bar, definitely should. And tires. Thanks for watching.